It was extra weight, obviously, but then just eating habits as well. Knowing that I wasn't eating, not necessarily what I was supposed to, but overeating, um, and just not look like liking what I saw in the mirror.
So that feeling of like being unhealthy, right? Not just the way it looked physically, but just mentally as well. Like I was sluggish, I couldn't move around, I couldn't play with my kids. Just not feeling that energy to do anything, right? And I knew that it had not just my working out, but just my eating habits were terrible, and I needed something to help me get to that next step to where it pushes me to do better for myself. Just stepping out of my comfort zone, because I was always scared to work out because I didn't know, I wasn't educated enough to know, what was right for me and my body, what my goal was, right? Because you see all these social medias and you want to be like this person or that person. So just finding what was right for me and my body, my mental, my everything.
The first one was just the nervousness of starting a new program and wondering if I can do it. And then it soon transitioned into, once I started liking it and I started seeing results, it started getting into, can I sustain this, and can I make it a habit and a lifestyle? And so we're both going on our 5th year, and now I can't imagine not working out. So we kind of both made that shift in mentality. When we don't work out, we feel like, oh damn, we're missing out, or we're losing our gains. I mean, in a nutshell, So yeah, it's a good place to be. Yeah. Personally, I've kind of had different goals, and the first one was I lost a lot of weight and I shrunk, and I really liked it, and I started seeing some definition, and then it got to, okay, now I want to maybe start building muscle, and you helped me with that. Sculpt, the whole team's helped me transition to that goal. I lost about 30 pounds, and so since then I think I put on about 20 pounds and lean muscle mass, and you helped me kind of realize that. Seeing the scale go up is kind of discouraging at first, but you taught us and me that don't worry about the scale, worry about the body fat percentage. And when you see that adjustment, then you're like, okay, I'm still on the right track, and still hitting my goal. The scale may not show it, but I'm getting there.
I'm way more educated than I was in the beginning. I didn't know, like I said, much about working out. I hated to sweat, like we mentioned earlier. And I just thought that you had to look a certain way. You had to be a certain way just because of how people perceive being healthy looks. You taught us, it's not about the scale. It's about how you feel. And then any goal you have, your goals change throughout weeks, days, sometimes months. And just learning how to be happy with yourself and just keep pushing for bigger and better goals, I guess you can say. The feeling of family. Sculpt has always been like a family to me. It's comfortable coming here. I've never felt insecure. I always feel like I have somebody who makes me be accountable for if I don't show up or if I'm doing something wrong, my form's not right. So I enjoy that atmosphere of being, how can I say, supported in every step of my journey here at Sculpt.
When you explain things, you explain it on a scientific basis, and that's a little different. We've tried other gyms, and that's something that they didn't quite I don't know if they didn't understand, but they didn't explain it well enough. And so when you explain things, it comes from like an educational scientific background, and it's kind of exciting. You can't really get that at a lot of places.
And how did that make a difference for you?
Made us understand what was going on, with the scale, and then what you're explaining is like the composition. You're not gaining weight. You're changing your composition, your body composition. So, and when you explain that, it just kind of clicks, and it's always knowledge is power, right? So, and it's encouraging as well. Again, I think it was just can I be consistent was the biggest hesitation. And once you start seeing results, it's that kind of fades away. And there's been peaks and valleys where we weren't consistent, but then we kind of encourage each other as well, because we come at the same time and work out together. So, and then the team they're always encouraging and kind of keep holding us accountable as well.
being able to stay consistent, like you said, there's always an excuse why you can't come to the gym. There's always a reason why you're too lazy to not do something for yourself, right? Kids or work or whatever the case might be. So, taking that extra time away from my family was also like a big thing for me, because I said that's an extra time that I can spend with my kids. But then you have to see it in the bigger picture. Getting healthier is giving me more time with my kids. So the hesitation was taking that time away from them, but then I had to think outside the box and be like, okay, well, this is going to help us both in the long run and help both of us get to a better place for our children. I feel like we discovered a lot, not just, working out, changing our body composition, but mental too. Mentally, I feel a lot better. I was like very, I feel like I was getting depressed at one point because I just didn't have anything to look forward to. And coming to the gym, actually, sometimes you don't want to come, but once you're here, that your mental state just changes. You get pumped up. You get, I get excited. The team here makes me excited. The people around us, it just changes how I see things now on day to day.
I think the biggest thing is we've made it part of our lives, and so I never thought we'd actually get to that point where it's part of our day, it's part of our life. If we know, say it's Tuesday, we know we want to try to hit 4 days this week, and we know we have a work function on Thursday after work, like a mixer or something. We'll actually, okay, well, let's come in the morning on that day, so we don't lose that fourth day. So making it a priority was something I never thought we'd actually make or get to that point, So we've actually went to, I think at maybe 3 years ago, we actually switched and did go to another gym briefly. And then we shortly just came back. And then during COVID was a tough one too, because we couldn't come at one point. So we tried working out at home, but the working out at home, we were doing it, but it was hard because nobody's really keeping you accountable. So it's just coming here every day. It becomes habit and ritual. And so that's kind of why we come here. And the team's, like I said, the team's great. You bring a scientific aspect to it and explain things to us that other gyms really couldn't. And two, I think they didn't have the bandwidth to do it. There's a lot more people there, and a lot different goals, but you really zero in on the individual and explain to them what do you want, and you teach us how to get there.
And like you said, we did try a lot of places, but I feel like those places were more focused on bringing in more people, making sure the gym was packed and had the bodies in there, but they weren't focused on the individual and the individual's goals. Not to say that we didn't enjoy other places, we did, but the feeling wasn't the same. There's a discomfort, there is an uneasiness. And here, the moment you walk in that door, you get the feeling of the support, right? And I know I can always come to any of you guys and with all of my 1,000,001 questions, and you guys are always like, but you guys help me because you guys know, that's what we're here for. That's what you guys are here for. For us is to help us get us where we need to be, where we want to be. And we didn't get that same support in other places we've been to. So I feel like that's why we've stuck around for so long. Stop using 1,000,001 excuses. Get up and go. Sculpt has changed my life, honestly. But I didn't think we'd be here this long, honestly. I thought we would give up a long time ago, but it's gotten me to a good mental state. Physically, I'm getting to where I want to be for this month, right? Because, next month it'll change. But like I said, it's changed me a lot. It's changed me as a person. It's made me look at things a little bit more positive, like in a positive outlook. And I feel like I would tell my best friend, he or she, like, just try it. It's not going to hurt to try it. You're going to love it like I do. So why not just go for it?
Mm-hmm. Same thing. As a husband and wife, I think it brought us closer together as well. So if you're a couple thinking about doing it, there's that benefit to it as well. And just, I just turned 40, so knowing that you can get to that point to where it's habit and it's ritual, that's not unfeasible. When you go into it, I don't know how to put it. It can be overwhelming because you're like, it's time, it's hard work, it is, but maybe you go into it thinking, hey, this is going to be a lifestyle change, or this is going to be not just 8 weeks, it's going to be lifelong.
Sculpt, I think, is going to be I know it's going to be our forever home. we always say we're gonna take a break this next semi-private, and then we look at each other and I'm like, who are you kidding? We're not gonna be able to survive without Sculpt, honestly. Like this is a part of our daily life, our daily routine. Everyone who knows us knows that Sculpt is a part of us, and so I really enjoy it here. I like the atmosphere. I like you guys are my family now, so it'd be hard to disconnect that. So no, I would definitely recommend Sculpt to anyone who wants to just improve their overall lifestyle, mental health, physical, whatnot.
If you're already currently going to the gym, like a box gym, and you want to see different results, I would recommend this because you're already kind of doing it in there. This will just take you to the next level. Because we're in the semi-private, so when we had that 2-week gap in between classes or in between programs, we actually try to go. We do have a big box gym membership. We actually did go a couple times during that off season, I guess you say. We didn't like it. It was just like we walked in, it was crowded. The equipment that we wanted to use was being taken. We had to wait. And for her, it was kind of a little uncomfortable. All the men. So I'm not a jealous person, but she just wasn't comfortable. I could see that in her. And here, it's just a total different atmosphere. Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much. I love having you guys as part of our family here.